that. Let's do that. Let Greg talk.
Have you ever been another minute or two?
Okay.
How many people do we have on?
35. If we're going to give another minute or two, I just want to make sure everyone knows that this Saturday's weekend class, it's all day Saturday class from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time. It will be all on Zoom, but you can invite anybody and everybody, anyone you've ever thought should meet Greg or have this experience. And so, yeah, it's free to anybody, even people who have not actually taken Greg's classes. Oh, and you can also email me at plantpranacalendar@gmail.com to get on that email list to make sure you get the link to the class if you have not done so already.
And
I will also, yes,
apologies, I thought you were done. Lala's trying to get in and she said she can't get in.
Okay, thank you. I'll chat with her. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so we are taking a little bit longer time with the protocol for preparing the basic, which is basically the PTSD protocol, and we're taking it into much greater depth than normal. Normally, each phase has one step, and we're using 4 different oils. So this is to treat the different aspects of the stress response, right? So the first step is an incident happened. So last week we worked with Tarragon to deal with your response to when difficulty happens, to pain, to being pushed out of balance. The next step is then phase 2 of the stress response is now you're going through and you're establishing value of what happened. Now here is where you start visiting all the hypotheticals. Now with the process that we're going to be doing here, we're still using the same oil, which would be rue. That rue is the second oil in the PTSD protocol, but we're going to be doing several different patterns with this. Now the thing with this particular protocol is taking it to greater depth like this, it helps undo the effects of conflict and helps you to become less triggered by conflict and be able to handle conflict in a more, probably the best way to say it is the more cognitive way. A lot of times with conflict, what happens is we have what we call automatic behavior, where we have a response, but your brain really doesn't get to process it. You're just having a physical and emotional response. And so with that, you're not really thinking it out, you're just reacting. Here, we want to be able to face some sort of conflict and actually evaluate our choices and make a conscious choice. So another way of saying this is when people have PTSD, for example, they would say this is when they get triggered, right? So different things might cause you to get triggered. By going through and doing this, for one, it's deeply relaxing, but it brings you a deep sense of peace. A lot of times it might even improve your sleep. But when stressful situations pop up, you'll notice, even if you did the protocol like 2 weeks ago, you'll notice I'm not reacting the way I normally react. You're calming down that second phase of the stress response, which really calms down the third and fourth phases. Now, a lot of times with this particular step, the adrenals also come down quite substantially. So we're going to be using rue, but if you don't have rue, let us know so we can help you choose a different oil that you have on hand. So if you don't have it, bring it to our attention so we can choose something from what you have on hand. So anybody who doesn't have rue?
And you may have to unmute yourself right now. I'm not in the chat room yet.
Okay, everybody has room. Excellent. Okay, so let's do this. Close your eyes for a second. Recall some sort of situation that you would deem stressful. Something where you've been pushed out of balance, where there's some difficulty, where there's some ongoing conflict, something that's not being resolved that needs to be resolved. Somebody's upset with you, you're upset, whatever it is. Let's find something that you can check in with. We're not necessarily going to work on that particular situation, but we want to be able to measure our response before and after.
Do you
Greg,
guys
we do have someone who doesn't have Rue. It's is it? I don't know how you say her name. Nadia. I'm not sure.
Okay.
There's one person, Greg, who doesn't have Rue.
What do you have?
What do they have?
I'm trying to see if she's.
Oh, and I just got in the chat room, so I can.
You did?
see
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Okay, because she hasn't put what she has yet.
Lavender, lemon. Lavender and lemon.
Just lavender and lemon. Do you happen to have sage, clary sage, anything like that? Just lavender and lemon? Let's have you use the lavender.
Oh, she said, yes, I think I do have sage.
If you have sage, let's have you use sage. Sage would work better than the lavender. Okay, so let's have you write down and make some notes on the situation where you've been pushed out of balance or that is stressful. Just, it feels this way, it feels that way, I feel upset, I feel triggered, I feel numb, whatever it is, just write yourself some notes. Okay, so just be still, be aware, keep your eyes closed. Okay, you have your bottle of oil, Rue or the sage or St. John's wort. You're not visualizing anything, you're not thinking about anything. We're simply just going to do inhalation with the patterns, okay? So start taking long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the groin area or the sex chakra. Long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the sex chakra. Continue to inhale with your awareness on the sex chakra. Move your awareness to the chest, your front heart. Move your awareness to the throat, the upper part of your neck. Long, slow, deep breaths. Put your awareness on the top of your head, the crown. Just be still, be aware, let go of the inhalation. Just be still for a second. Keep the bottle in your hand or keep it close. Just be still for a second. We're going to cycle through that pattern again. We're doing the same pattern. We're just going to do another cycle of it. So again, begin inhaling with your awareness on the groin or the sex chakra. Long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware, keep your eyes closed. Let go of the inhalation. Put your awareness on the front of your chest, your front heart. Long, slow, deep breaths. Continue to inhale with your awareness on the front heart. Just be still, be aware, let go of the inhalation. Your awareness is on the throat. Long, slow, deep breath. Your awareness is on the throat, which is the upper part of your neck. Just be still, let the inhalation go. Go to the top of your head, your crown. Long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware, just let go. Let go of the inhalation, keep your eyes closed, just be still. Maintain your stillness. Move your awareness to the area between your eyebrows. We're doing pattern number 2. We will post this on Plant Prana Q&A. So no need to write it down. We'll actually be posting all 4 patterns. Your awareness is between your eyebrows. Long, slow, deep breath. Drop down to your throat. Long, slow, deep breath. Just let go for a second. Just be still. Keep your eyes closed. Again, begin inhaling. Your awareness is at the bottom part of your throat. The bottom part of your throat. Go to the bottom part of your cheeks, right under your cheekbone, directly under your eyes, on each side. Your awareness is on that part of your face. Go to the jaws where they hinge right in front of the ear canal. Go to the ear canal itself. Just be still, be aware. Maintain your stillness and awareness. Go to the area between your shoulder blades, also known as the back heart. Long, slow, deep breath on the back heart. Just be still, be aware, just let it go for a second. Keep your eyes closed. Go to your front solar plexus, just below the ribs. Long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware, just let it go. Go to your mid-back area, your back solar plexus. Long, slow, deep breath. Few more long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware, just let it go for a second. Just be still. Keep your eyes closed. Just let go. Let's repeat the same process again. So again, your awareness is between your eyebrows. Long, slow, deep breath with your awareness between your eyebrows. Your eyes are closed. You're being still, taking long, slow, deep breaths. Now put your awareness on your throat. The upper part of your neck. Long, slow, deep breath. Awareness is on your throat. Long, slow, deep breaths. Your eyes are closed. Just be still. Let everything go. Just be still. Move your awareness to the bottom of your throat, bottom of your neck, your throat minor or your secondary throat. Continue to inhale. Just let go for a second. Just let go of everything. Let go of the inhalation. Just be still. Put your awareness on the area just below your cheekbone, under your eyes, just below the cheekbone. On both sides, long, slow, deep breath. Just let it go. Just be still, be aware, keep your eyes closed. Now go to your jaw minors, the area where your jaw hinges, right in front of your ear canals, on both sides. Long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on each jaw. Continue on the jaws. Just be still, be aware, just let go. Go to your ear canals. Long, slow, deep breath with your awareness on your ears. Let it go, just be still. Move your awareness to the back heart, the area between your shoulder blades. Long, slow, deep breaths. Continue on your back heart. Long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware, let go of the inhalation, just be still. Your eyes closed. Awareness on your front solar plexus, the area just below your ribs, on the front side, the upper part of your abdomen. Long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware. Put your awareness on the back solar plexus. Your mid-back. Continue to inhale. Continue on the back solar plexus, the mid-back area. Long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware. Just be still. You can feel when we cycle through the pattern again, it goes a bit deeper. And when you give it a bit of a gap between the inhalations, it makes the inhalations much more potent. Okay, we're doing the third pattern now. Again, your awareness is on your front solar plexus, just below your ribs. Long, slow, deep breath. Continue with your awareness on your front solar plexus. Just be still, be aware. Do your back solar plexus, your mid back, long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware. Move over to the spleen on the left-hand side, just below the ribs. Do front and back at the same time. Long, slow, deep breaths. Just let it go. Be still. Go down to your navel, your belly button. Long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still. Just let the inhalation go. Now, an inch and a half below your navel, put your attention and awareness, long, slow, deep breaths. Keep inhaling on the secondary navel. Just be still. Put your awareness on the tailbone. Continue to inhale with your awareness on the tailbone, the basic chakra. Just be still, be aware. The soles of your feet. Long, slow, deep breath. Your awareness is on the soles of your feet. Continue to inhale. Just be still, be aware. Just maintain your stillness and awareness. We'll just do one cycle on that one. We'll just let that be, but just be still, be aware. Last cycle, the last step. Begin to inhale. Your awareness is on your throat. The upper part of your neck. Long, slow, deep breaths. Continue to inhale. A few more long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware. Move your awareness down to the bottom part of your throat. Keep your eyes closed. Go to your back throat. Long, slow, deep breaths on your back throat. Continue on the back throat. Long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still, be aware, just let everything go for a moment. Let the inhalation go, let everything go, just be still. Go to your jaws, where they hinge in front of the ear. Long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the jaws. Continue to inhale with your awareness on the jaws. Just let go. Let go of the inhalation. Move your awareness to the temples. Long, slow, deep breath with your awareness on the temples. Continue with your awareness on the temples. Your eyes are closed. We're going to linger on the temples for a moment. Still inhaling on your temples. Just be still. Let go of the inhalation. And inhaling again, but still linger on the temples. You're still on the temples. Long, slow, deep breaths. Now move your awareness to the back head, opposite your eyebrows, the back head minor, the back of your head. Long, slow, deep breaths. Continue with your awareness on your back head. Just be still, be aware, just let go for a second. Put your awareness on the forehead, on the hairline. Long, slow, deep breaths. Continue with your awareness on your forehead. Long, slow, deep breath. Just be still, be aware. Just let go. Let go of everything. You can set the bottle down, just let everything go. Okay, now gently recall that same event, that event you recalled from the past, or you were pushed out of balance, or there's some sort of conflict. Check in with your body, check in with your emotions, check in with your thoughts. See how you feel. Would anybody like to share or ask a question?
Hey Greg, it's Tracy. What was the last pattern we did?
The cranial pattern.
Okay, thank you.
And we're going to post it on the Plant Prana Q&A. So the whole protocol. If there's one that really like strikes you, you know, you can do several cycles of it. You know, this is taking the normal PTSD protocol and taking it much deeper. You're unwinding the effects of, in this particular step, or with this oil, I should say, which is 4 steps, you're unwinding the effects of the conflict or being pushed out of balance. And so this helps you not to get as triggered by conflict. It helps you to not react like with conflict. You know what I'm saying? Like where you just like try to push back or fight back. You notice you'll be just kind of peaceful. Somebody will do something and you'll go, okay, I need to either not do anything, I need to avoid it, I need to let the matter pass. Or even if you do have to come back and be firm with something, it's that you're choosing to do it, not that you're reacting to do it, right? You're trying to unwind the trigger response, which is an automatic behavior. You're reacting without your brain thinking, right? And so this is unwinding that so that even if you have to come back and go, okay, I have to be firm, it's a choice rather than a reaction. So you're really trying to shift it from that aspect of being automatic to conscious of something. And so this one particular protocol, it can reduce anxiety a little bit. It does have a regulating effect on the adrenals. But one of the things I would say is that it reduces a lot of certain kinds of agitation in the body. And I've had it in several clients. I've had it actually lower their blood pressure. Mostly the second number, you know how it's like 150 over 100. It will really lower the second number. The first number, not so much, but the second number definitely. The second number is actually harder to reduce. And so that it does that is really kind of amazing. Kate Snowbush will reduce the first number somewhat. I mean, it depends on what is causing the blood pressure issue. But we've had some decent results with it. One of the things that happens with like PTSD or when somebody's had a car accident is eventually they do develop high blood pressure. And so some of it is just certain types of agitation in the body that just never calm down. And so we're going through and we're systematically unwinding these different types of agitation. And so it does make you sometimes kind of process a little bit of something from the past. Usually don't have to relive it, but it doesn't allow you to check out like you did before, because an automatic behavior is you kind of checked out. You know, you're running on autopilot. You're not really thinking. Where here you're a little bit more present with it, but you're not shoving it into the unconscious. So the issue is that sometimes people think because it went away that they've released it. But a lot of times what happens, I mean, there's actually even some healing modalities where they think they're releasing something, but all they're really doing is they're shoving it into the unconscious. You know, they're disconnecting the emotion and the body component of it. They're not really processing through what is happening. And so the thing that's happening is they're just reburying it in the unconscious. So some symptoms disappear, but they'll reappear in other places, and you don't see a lot of physiological changes. Energetically, you'll notice that not only does the spiritual cord not get bigger, it actually shrinks because they're kind of checking out a little bit. And so you'll notice this, they'll have a harder and harder time meditating. That's like one of the big factors, is like if they sit and pray or meditate, and the more that it keeps getting buried in the unconscious and not processed, they'll have a harder and harder time meditating, because every time they meditate, they become more present and the issues start to come back to the surface again. And so psychological things, you know, if you look up emotion, if you look up the science of what emotions are, when you think something, it does generate emotion, right? But a lot of your emotions are generated by your body. I mean, this is science. This is neuropsychology. This is, if you look up emotions or neuropsychology, you look up cognitive processing. They talk about, you know, a lot of your emotions and your emotional responses are biological in origin, right? Now, we look at it from the energetic point of view, they'll get generated biologically, they'll end up in the solar plexus, right? So in the solar plexus, they're still biological. By the time they move up to the heart, they become psychological. Now it's your emotional body and your brain interacting. When it's in the solar plexus down, it is your lower nature or your body, and then the body is producing emotions. So as a person grows and develops, they become more spiritually evolved, the mental body becomes stronger, the emotions are more generated by the mind, right? By the mind and the mental processes. Now you can tell this because the emotions are also more regulated. They're not as up and down, and even if the person is not heart-centered, they're still relatively calm emotions, right? Relatively calm emotions. You know, when there is the biological emotions, the emotions are really up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And so that's one of the ways that you can tell the difference between biological emotion and psychological emotion. So I know that's not really the question that you asked, but I went on a tangent. So anybody want to share their experience? Tracy, how did you feel?
Well, I missed the first step, the first 26 minutes, so I was kind of catching up.
That's okay. That's okay.
I still feel a lot better. I
Yeah.
have not felt very good since I've sat with my mom yesterday. So today was my, I don't want to do anything today. And I totally forgot about the class. Sorry.
But you can always follow it. You know, we have the recording. You know, you can go back through and you can use these recordings as like little therapy sessions.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, go back and do it. But usually it's very calming. Like I actually like to do this one quite a bit, and like I'll lay on the couch and do it. And a lot of times I don't even get through all 4 steps. I'll be doing it. I'll do the first one. I'll do the second one. I'll do the third one. I'll fall asleep. I'll wake up. I'll start to do the 4th one. I'll fall asleep again. Like, you know, it's just, it takes a lot of weird tension out of your body that's not just physical tension. You know, it takes a bunch of emotional tension out of the body. So, yeah, very calming.
I feel a lot better.
Too. Yeah, it's very, very, very calming to the adrenal. So if you're in the middle of a conflict, this could be a really go-to thing just by itself. So we're, you know, every week, last week we did tarragon, this week we did rue, next week we'll be doing hyssop, right? And so we're going to do the 4 steps, but in greater depth. And then we'll put it all together in a little, you know, each week we're putting it on Plant Prana Q&A, but at the end, we'll put it together all in a little booklet, and you guys can have it in a little PDF. So you can have it as a treatment protocol. There'll be the short version and the long version, and it will be specific to PTSD and just, you know, prolonged periods of stress, and you'll have a idea of what each piece does. So anybody else want to share their experience?
Hi, Greg. It's
Hey,
Barb.
hey, Barbara.
Yeah, mine was like almost like well, no, it was pretty much like a soul retrieval.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I could see that. Yeah, totally, I could see that.
yeah, it was really intense. I did family conflict and
Yeah,
soul retrieval.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Very, very similar. Like to, we're doing a different technique, but very, very similar effect to what shamanic people call soul retrieval. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great.
Yeah, good
Thank
for
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Hi, Greg. This is Maya.
Hey, how are you?
Yes. Good, good. How are you?
Good.
My experience was a little bit different. During the process, more upsetting stuff kept coming up, and by now I feel a little more sad and down.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if I was doing something wrong or.
No, it's not. It's not wrong. See, this is why I like to do a little Q&A, is because we're all in different situations and we're in different places, and you have had a long-term stressful work, like very, very long-term stressful work, and so part of what happens sometimes is we do have to kind of like suck it up and push through when we're dealing with something difficult. And when we go through and we start calming down all the agitation, you might have a little bit of like, you know what, I'm a little bit sad, or you know what, I'm a little bit upset. I've been treated kind of poorly for a while, or somebody's been busting my chops for a really long period of time when I've been really performing. Whatever it is, you can have these feelings that were really kind of in the unconscious, and when everything comes down, it kind of comes to the surface. It will pass very quickly because it's not buried anymore. And so even if you feel a little bit of sadness, allow yourself to be sad for a little bit. I remember even one time watching Master Choa do the healing on a person. And then after the person was done, the person was standing there and just kind of being quiet. Master was like, okay, very good healing. No bathing for like 2 days, he said, but go into the other room and cry. And the person was like, what? And he goes, go in there and go, wah, wah, wah. Like he literally was like going, ah, like, kind of doing that thing. And he's like, you just sometimes got to just get it out of your system. And so if there's a little bit of sadness, it's okay to feel sad. It's transient, it'll pass. If it's a little bit of upset, you'll realize, you know what, I've been angry about this situation for a period of time, but now at least you're aware of it, and you go, okay, now I get to either make different decisions in this situation, establish a boundary with this person, not really do this situation anymore, where before we were just on automatic pilot doing it over and over and over again. And so my guess for you is you're shedding the last several years of your work.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, you had a boss that was really hard on you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That doesn't just go away. That went on for a really long time.
Yeah, yeah.
And your livelihood's on it. You have a house that you have to take care of. You have all these things that are riding on that you're performing, and you have this person busting your chops, basically threatening your existence almost on a daily basis. So that there's a little bit of anger that comes out. It's better for it to come out than be buried in the unconscious or in the body.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
very helpful. Thank you.
One of the things, like, so I'll tell you, like, because that happens to me sometimes when I'm doing this protocol. I'll go take a salt bath in the room.
I was just in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, like
Oh,
10,
yeah.
12 drops. Go take a salt bath. Oh, it feels so good.
I'll do it right away. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Greg,
Hey,
hi, it's Dawn.
hey, Don.
I wanted to ask you, like when we check back in with our stuff,
Huh?
if it's pokey, like in my solar plexus. Does that mean I need to work on it again? Like do the protocol
Well,
again?
it's probably a little bit like what I was just saying to Maya. It could be that something's like kind of coming up to the surface. So I tried taking a salt bath, but you know, sometimes you're starting to become more aware of something that's bothering you, but you weren't super conscious of it, although it was still bothering you. So now at least you get to make a decision of, okay, what do I do about this situation? You know, even if it's, there's nothing really I can do, or I just need to stop interacting with this person, or maybe it's a different boundary, or maybe I need to forgive this person, or maybe we need to have a talk. Maybe, you know, whatever it is.
What if it brought up stuff about another person from my past? Because it was fresh.
Um,
Because it brought up some stuff with my dad, which it wasn't anything about my dad. What I focused on was something totally different.
so the thing is, when I have you look at something, we're
Uh-huh.
not necessarily working that issue. We're just measuring with that issue.
Right.
When you
But
go through and do this process, it's doing it like across the board.
okay, so that's why I would see that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that one situation is just like a measuring stick.
Okay.
Even if you didn't concentrate on something, it's treating like agitations in the body. And so, you know, things are now kind of getting processed in ways that they haven't been.
Okay.
And so that something came up from somebody in the past. Yeah, I hear you. Like that's.
Well, I wasn't sad or anything, and it just was a little poke in my body. I feel good, but
Oh,
like
good.
I saw it, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
so what I do about that? Just keep working on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could do that. You could do the salt bath.
Okay.
You can always go to the next step of just going through and starting to inhale the hyssop. Or sometimes what I do is I'll even backtrack and go back to the tarragon. Like
Okay.
if
I
I'm
did
starting
mix tarragon, so I could probably do that and see if it helps me.
yeah, tarragon is always soothing.
Okay.
Like if there's something that is just like it's agitating, it's a little upsetting, it's like I'm not feeling comfortable, I'm not feeling comfortable in my skin, go back to the tarragon.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
if you guys didn't get the recording of tarragon, again, plant prana calendar at Gmail, and we'll email you the link so you can get the recording.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Bill, your hand is raised.
I have a question as well after Bill.
Yes. Yes, hi Greg, how are you?
Hey, Bill.
Hey, I was, had a lot of tension around in my head, around the eyes and the temples.
Yeah, so the reason why we linger there is we're trying to impact the prefrontal cortex. And the prefrontal cortex is a lot of like impulse control and responses to, you know, different kinds of situation. It's tied to some emotional learning, but the reason why we linger there is like it's a weird area to work on even energetically, because it's like it's an area that you really kind of don't really clean. Like you kind of almost have to energize it with colors for regeneration, like delicate regeneration, because what you're dealing with is like a kind of tension or agitation there. And sometimes even just trying to clean it, it almost makes it more agitated. And so part of what you're trying to do is let go of those triggered responses and change the impulses that you have of reacting to different situations. And so when you linger on that temple area, that's one of the areas where it really will shift that. And I would say that that's not just for you, that's really for everybody. It's to what degree, like it's really to what degree. And so that is one area that, you know, almost as long as you're in a body, you're always going to have to kind of treat that area, because it's constantly, you know, processing the things that, you expose to the difficulties, especially things like conflict, reward, punishment, those kinds of things, like the pleasure, punishment kind of responses. And so by going through and treating that temple area, you're kind of rewiring that a little bit. And so it starts to enable you to have different responses when you are exposed to the same triggers. It was like, I was treating this one woman, she was a multiple personality disorder. Now they call it dissociative identity disorder. And, for her, she had been, abused. That's how that happened. And so the person who abused her, she lived in this little tiny town. It was like the main policeman, like he was the cop. And it was a little tiny town. There's only a couple cops, and he was the one in charge, and he was the one, right? And so she lived way back east, and then she was out in California. So it wasn't like she was ever going to run into the person. I don't even think the person was alive anymore. But whenever she saw cops, she would get anxiety. But if she heard sirens, I mean, she would lose her mind. I mean, she would start to flip out. And so, we had actually integrated the personalities. So she technically was actually no longer a multiple personality disorder anymore. They were integrated, but she still had the trigger of the police sirens and seeing the police. And the office that I had was real close to a big main street. And so, we worked on it for a couple of sessions, and even if she heard the siren go by and it was in the office, she would get a panicked look. And there was a couple times where she told me, we should probably lock the door. Like when she heard the siren, like maybe just to be safe, we should lock the door. And so there was this one time, we had treated it a couple times, and I heard a siren, in the distance, and we were the big main road, so they were going to go by, right? So I said, okay, let's go outside. And normally if I would have said that to her, she would have had a little bit of a meltdown, and she just didn't think anything of it. And we walked outside, and we walked all the way to the sidewalk, and we watched the police car go by with the sirens, and they walked by, and she watched it go all the way until it turned and it was gone. And she went, nothing. And the issue was, by treating that prefrontal cortex area, the trigger disappeared. The trauma was gone, but she still had the trigger. And so sometimes, even though we've released the issue, we've released the conflict, we've released everything, we still have that trigger that's stuck up in that prefrontal cortex. And so by lingering there, you're rewiring things so that you don't get so easily triggered, and you actually get to make more cognitive choices.
Cool. Yeah, so taking a brew salt bath will help too tonight?
Yeah, Rue,
Okay.
or you can even step it up and go to Hyssop. You
Okay.
can do either one. Yeah. I
Okay.
a lot of times when I'm working Rue, I actually just go all in, and I do a Rue salt bath. I'm like, I'm already in. Let's just go all the way. So.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So next week we're going to do the third phase of the PTSD protocol, which is Hyssop, and we'll even talk about some variations, because with Hyssop, there's even some things that can be done for treating things like abandonment and things like that. Not necessarily part of the PTSD protocol, but I'm going to give you a little bit of extra stuff that we'll talk about with Hyssop, because Hyssop is very, very flexible in some of the things that it can do. So, and then everybody remember, this Saturday, Central Time, 9 to 6, free review. We're going to do a whole class on immunity and anxiety and things like that. So It's a free 1-day class, so be sure to send the link or the email to plantpranacalendar@gmail to get the link so that you can join us that day, and also that day will be recorded as well. So we're going to cover a bunch of things in immunity and anxiety, respiratory health, things like that in depth. So more in depth than we've ever done before. So, okay, you guys. Unfortunately, I got to step into another Zoom meeting for Astara, so I apologize, but I have to go. But if you have some questions, still post them on Plant Prana Q&A, and I will answer them by the end of the night after my next meeting.
Thanks, Greg.
So I will be glad to do it. Lala, I think you had a question real quick.
It's okay, Shaman. No worries.
No, go ahead. Please.
No,
please,
no,
go ahead.
really. It's really fine. You partially answered it in the last
Okay.
question for the gentleman.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. Okay, you guys, thanks for joining me tonight. It's always great doing these Tuesday night things. Good little practice sessions. Yeah. I'll see you hopefully on Saturday and again next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Take care. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.